morning and good luck. And welcome back to Good Luck with Gino. I'm your host, Gino the Ghost. And we're back with episode 45 of the best podcast in the entire world. And I want to thank you for joining us on this fine day. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, what I need you to do at this very moment, not 10 seconds from now, not in a couple minutes when you go, oh yeah, I was supposed to, you're going to go ahead and make sure you're subscribed. You're going to give me a 5-star review. You're going to leave a comment, right? And then you're going to send it to a loved one or a family member. If you're watching on YouTube, and I cannot stress this enough, you got to be watching on YouTube. Even if you listen all the way through on Apple Podcast, you got to come back, right? And watch it to get the full Good Luck with Gino experience. Because today, we did something special, didn't we? First things first, we broke out the Cartier romances today. Now, these particular glasses are maybe the most rare pair of Cartiers that I have. They're very vintage, very exclusive, big Miami drug dealer in the 80s vibes here. He's actually the first pair of Cartiers that I got. I got them from Spencer Shapiro, who's a good friend of mine, board-certified cardiologist, Cardi dealer. He's the best in the business. And what else do I have on? Well, if it isn't a Cartier jacket, this is, you never seen nothing like this before. Of course, the Cartier King is going to come in something extra spicy today. Because, episode 45 is a special one, near and dear to my heart. And why is that? Well, because it's the best episode that I've ever done. And that's because it's the latest episode I've ever done. And we really focus on getting better every podcast. And today I came extra fresh. We've got the pinky ring on by St. Jules. We are rocking the rope. And yeah, that's all you get. You don't really get to see bottom down, but I'm looking crispy down there too, yeah? Okay. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Leave a comment. I'm not asking you to do that, right? I'm not asking you to leave a comment. I would never ask you to do something like that. I'm telling you to leave a comment because we need to grease up that algorithm. We are slaves to the computers, aren't we? And I'm not excluded from that. So I need you to do your job as a community member of the Good Luck with Gino podcast and grease up those wheels. Leave a comment. Tell me, and then leave a comment after too and tell me what you enjoyed. Let's talk about the week, shall we? Shall we? Good. First thing, I was in New York for Fashion Week. Yeah, I shut down Fashion Week. Whatever. What else did you expect? I popped into New York. I was there for 2 days. I ate some great Italian food. I had about 12 cups of coffee a day, as I do when I'm in New York. You know what I did? I had a bagel. Now, whenever I go to New York, I always make it a point to get a bagel because the bagels in LA suck ass. They're not good. The bagels in New York, S tier. Best of the best. I think it's something in the water. That California water, not great for a bagel. Not great for pizza either. So I got a bagel. And I gotta be honest, I think I'm done with bagels. I think my bagel days are over. Maybe because I'm 31 and my body's starting to move a little different and process things a little different. Something about taking down just a big yeasty bagel just kind of fucked me up for the whole day. I was like out of commission, man. And when you're in New York, you walk like 17 miles a day. So I'm just walking around trying to work this bagel off. I didn't get through, my body didn't get through this bagel until like 4:30 p.m. This bagel was kicking my ass, dude. I was carved out. I was fucked up, dude. So I don't know, man. I think I'm done. Maybe LA is just like, I'm just becoming more and more LA. I'm like transforming into like LA Optimus Prime between all the oat milk matcha lattes and all the things that I'm consuming that I can't just consume carbs like I used to be able to. But I think we're done. Other than that, I had a great time in New York. What else happened this week? Oh, yeah. Speaking of fashion, Donald Trump surprised people by showing up at SneakerCon yesterday. And he premiered his new shoe. Yeah, that's right. Donald Trump just dropped a signature shoe called the Never Surrenders, which is the worst name for a sneaker ever. Again, if you're not watching the Good Luck podcast and you're listening, you're not going to get to see the visual that I'm about to throw up on the screen. But holy shit, are these fucking ugly. I mean, these are so ugly. These are hideous. The Never Surrenders are the worst name ever for a shoe. But these things, if you're not watching again, they're like gold. Like the whole shoe is gold. Except for like an American flag. Like, I don't even know how to describe this. Man, they are fucking ugly, dude. They look like Trump's living room. I mean, these are like the Gal Gadots. These look like Wonder Woman's fit, you know? They're the Homelanders. Look at these fucking things, dude. These are horrible. The NRA 5s, you know? You know the type of people that are going to be wearing these. Holy shit, these are, man, these Wonder Woman-ass sneakers, bro. The build the walls, you know? Trump man, just jumped over a jump man. God, these are ugly as fuck. They're $400. Of course they're $400. And of course they're going to sell out. Between like the MAGA slappies and like the hypebeast sneakerheads who just can't help themselves. Especially if they premiered them in SneakerCon. You know that like some fucking 15-year-old's going to be lining up on Fairfax for the Build the Walls. These gold candy wrapper Willy Wonka ass shoes. Look at these fucking shoes. Flavor Flav would rock the fuck out of these shoes, man. And then like Biden's communication director put out a statement about the shoes. Why? He said, Trump showing up to hawk bootleg off-whites is the closest he'll get to any Air Force Ones ever, again for the rest of his life. Wait a minute. He kind of cooked them. He kind of cooked them. All right. All right, Trump's communication director. Sounded like Gino the Ghost out there. He said these bootleg off-whites is the closest thing he'll ever get to any Air Force Ones because he's not going to be the president. If I wasn't going to get demonetized, I'd play Ether right now. Yeah, so these are horrible. He dropped other shoes, too. He dropped low-top, what are these? Like fucking Yeezy Moonrock knockoffs. These Balenciaga knockoff runners. The POTUS 45s. Jesus Christ. With a 45 on the side of the shoe and a wing and a giant T, you know? And POTUS 45 on the shoe with an American flag because, of course. Man, these are ugly. $200. And how could we forget the red colorway of them? The T-Red Waves. Nice. The T-Red Waves, which is just a red version. These look really ugly. If I catch one of you motherfuckers wearing these shoes, unironically, I'm going to have to cook you, aren't I? So to all my Republican followers, don't fucking shell out $200 for these ugly-ass shoes. And don't buy the new cologne that he just put out either. The Victory 47 cologne that he put out. And you guessed it, it's in an all-gold bottle. Of course it is. In case you wanted to smell like tax evasion and aftershave, get the Victory 47 cologne. Brought to you by Donald Trump. I mean, who wants to smell like Donald Trump? There's nothing less sexy than that. You know? God. Anyway. Moving on. He's going to be our next president. Good luck. Yeah, we're drinking, once again, non-branded water. I ripped the brand off of the water because you know why? They're not paying me. And if you want to be featured on the Good Luck with Gino podcast, you need to be paying me. Or I need to be financially connected in some way, like Bored Ape Yacht Club, like Cartier. This is the only brand that I'll rock, you know, because I damn near am Cartier, right? Aren't I? Or my CryptoPunk. Or, of course, Gengar and Pikachu. And we do have a new guest on the show. He's not in focus, but we brought Pikachu, and this is a childhood toy of mine when I was like when I was a young ute. I don't even know how old I was, but I've had that fucking Pikachu toy forever. I feel like Woody. I feel like he's my Woody and I'm Andy in Toy Story. And my whole life, I've felt like if he was ever like in the closet, I like took him out and like, I'm like, he's going to fucking suffocate in there. You know, and I'd like prop him like, so he had oxygen. I'd like open I don't know if you guys do that. Maybe I'm just a little bit of a lunatic, but anyway, he's made his way to Los Angeles, mainly because my mother was like, hey, take your fucking Pikachu doll out of my house. You're 31. Maybe give it away to a, you know, like a Salvation Army. And I'm like, Mom, are you fucking insane? Mom, don't ever say that again. And I took it to California with me. And I bought a plane ticket for him. He sat in his own seat on the flight. And that's not true. Okay, so what else happened? The Super Bowl happened. Yeah, you know, this happened a little while ago. Man, this probably like literally forever by the time you listen to this episode. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Thank God. Fuck the 49ers. Taylor Swift won. I told you she would. People were pissed. Of course they were. I don't know if you saw my comment section where I made fun of people that were mad at Taylor Swift, but it's a real riot. If you want to laugh, go ahead and take a gander on that. In Ohio, a church, a megachurch, an evangelical megachurch in Cincinnati called Crossroads Church took to the opportunity to celebrate the Super Bowl. And I think we're just going to play it. Yeah, let's just play the clip, yeah?
Yeah, let's just go with tails. Would you like to kick or receive the Bible?
I will receive. Tome wins the toss, chooses to receive the Bible. Patterson back with the kick. Oh my goodness!
Whoa.
Is that a touchback? Can you even get a touchback?
First time in 18 years.
Okay, so the two pastors, one's wearing a 49ers jersey, one's wearing a Chiefs jersey, and they do like a kickoff, like a coin flip, and the woman pastor kicks the fucking Bible. She just like boots a Bible. Like, and I'm not gonna lie, she booted that bitch. I mean, she kicked the shit out that Bible. Guys, what are we doing? I mean, look at this kick.
Yeah, let's just go with tails.
Yeah, let's just go with tails.
Like to kick or receive the Bible?
I mean, dude, these mega churches are insane.
Chooses to receive the Bible. Patterson back with the kick.
They have turf laid out. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa.
Is that a touchback?
I mean, that would have been good from 60. Fucking Adam Sinateri over here, just kicking it through the uprights. Dan Campbell would have gone for 2. Huh? Anyway, this is so blasphemous, huh? This is really bad. Rightfully, people are pretty, upset. Now, you guys know I'm Christian, but I'm not going to be, knocking on doors. But we do like to make fun of people that have lost the plot, don't we? And we like to talk about these mega churches who are they're just wasting your money. They're taking your money in tithes, and they're spending tens of thousands of dollars on this dumb shit. And they're not paying taxes, are they? No, that's what we do. We pay taxes. So we give you tithes. You put on a fucking Super Bowl halftime show as your service, and then you kick a Bible. We know what team they're rooting for. The team with the red jerseys. The away team. The San Francisco 666ers. I mean, this is so blasphemous, huh? You know, let us bow our heads. What do you say? Let us bow our heads and pray for these people and pray for us. Father God, they may have put your word between the uprights, but we know their spirit is not upright. We will not move the goalposts of Scripture to fit our agenda, Father God. And at the end of regulation, we know that what way the coin flip is going to go. Heads or tails, we know for them it'll be tails, Lord. They wish to receive you and the Holy Spirit, but they defer to worldly temptation, Lord. And in overtime, it is you that scores first. But it is us that wins, Lord. When we win, you don't dump Gatorade on us, God. You shower us in the blood of Jesus. You've got the playbook. The Bible is the only playbook we run our offense through, and the body of Christ is our defensive coordinator, Lord. And we pray that this megachurch in Ohio gets slammed by the IRS, Lord, and that we when we find out what these pastors are probably doing with the money of the congregation, Lord, that they be punished and hit-sticked out of bounds, Lord. In your name we pray, amen. What a bunch of lunatics. Hey, if you go to that church in Ohio, maybe stop going. Yeah? Maybe you find another one. What else is happening? Crypto's ripping. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, you guys thought NFTs were dead? Oh, you thought crypto was a scam? Yeah, I'm going to just keep victory lapping. And guess what? The victory lap has just started. I'm like 7 meters in on my victory lap. We're just getting started. Bitcoin's at 51,000. Ethereum's about to hit 3K. Crypto punks are $170,000 each at the floor, at the minimum. I mean, I put out a post why I invested in one a while ago. Everybody told me I was a fucking idiot. Anyway, we're not going to really talk about the nuance of cryptocurrency on this podcast because we do that a lot. Maybe next one. Maybe when a big violent move happens. We'll talk more about that. Okay, something we got to talk about in the world of music. So Beyoncé did a Super Bowl halftime commercial where she premiered her new country songs, basically, right? And released 2 country songs. And there's a lot of controversy around it. There's a lot of controversy. A lot of the radio stations in country are not playing it. And people are up in arms. If you don't know, Beyoncé is from Texas. And she's doing an album, a country album, to pay homage to her roots. And because she just probably wants to fucking do it. Because she's an artist and a superstar. And if she wants to do a country album, well, guess what? She can do a country album. And you don't have to listen to it. But if you're a country station, you probably should play a country song from one of the biggest artists in the history of the world, right? So this is a mess. Like, the discourse is a mess. And we're going to go through it. Now, as a white guy that works in music, not the most comfortable conversation for me to have, but, I'll always speak candidly and I don't give a fuck. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to start with the elephant in the room. Race. So with this conversation, obviously, you've got a few different people that are rearing their head and giving their perspective. You've got black people who think that this is a race issue. They're not playing her country song on country radio because she's a black artist. You've got white people who think it's a race issue to think it's a race issue, right? Beyoncé just isn't country. This has nothing to do with her being black. There's plenty of very successful black artists, which there are. She's just not a country artist. And then you've got people who just hate Beyonce that are arguing it's because the music isn't good and it isn't truly country. And there's a lot of people that just don't like Beyonce because people don't like successful people. There's a lot of people who just don't like people that are successful. And that's why people hate Taylor Swift. That's why people hate, that's a whole other conversation that we won't get into. So I just want to like tackle some of the points and like how I see it. One of the big things like going around is just because she put out a country song, that don't make you a country artist. Just because you put out a country song doesn't make you country. But guys, hey, that's not really how radio works. Hey, dumb fuck, that's not how the radio works. If you're a country radio station, you play country radio songs. Right? You play the song on the radio, not the artist on the radio. Now, the artist did the song, but you're playing the song. So if it's a country song, which it is, why aren't you playing it? Would a hip-hop station play a rap song with the country artist? Yeah, they would if it was a big artist. Billy Ray Cyrus was at every fucking hip-hop station for a calendar year. Miley Cyrus did a whole rap album and was all over the rap radio with Mike Will Made It. And we ran into similar discourse when Old Town Road was going crazy and people were trying to say it wasn't a country song. And we had this same conversation. This is coming back up. And it's just like, yeah, there's plenty of successful black country artists. Kane Brown, Darius Rucker, Blanco Brown, who I have a song with, Allison Russell, who just won a bunch of Grammys. But I will say this. If Taylor Swift put out a country album, I guarantee you they'd accept her with open arms. Taylor Swift, who's a pop artist, who has released an array of pop albums since originally being, if she came out and was like, I'm going to do a country album, I guarantee you this conversation would not be happening. She'd be all over country radio. So what do you make of that? And besides the deeply rooted racism, let's talk about the biggest reason they won't play her. This is something that isn't really being talked about in discourse. But me as a nuanced, jaded songwriter and producer that's been in the game for a while, I think I have an idea of what's going on. First thing that's happening, obviously, people love putting artists in a box that they never asked to be put in. Beyonce has done all types of records. She's done pop, she's done R&B, she's done rap. If she wants to do country, she can do country. She just did a dance album. You don't get to fucking tell an artist what they are or who they want to be or what they can be. You don't get to do that. And people that can't create love doing it. Critics love doing it. Journalists love doing it. Radio station fucking gatekeepers love doing it. A&Rs love doing it. Labels love doing it. Now, the difference between labels and A&Rs, they have to make money by controlling how and what you put out in some capacity. And many times they know what they're doing, right? They want to make bread, okay? And they're good at making money. They're not always great at other parts of their job, but that's what their goal is. Radio stations and journalists and those motherfuckers don't have that excuse, right? So the gatekeepers of country music don't want the beehive infiltrating their sacred genre. They don't want a pop star stealing their category at the award show and in the record books. They don't want Beyonce coming in here and just taking over country. And that's what a lot of this is about. And guys, it's just getting started. So buckle up. It's going to be a long summer of that happening. Spring and summer. Okay, moving on to our main story. How you feeling? You guys, we feeling good? Everybody doing all right? Yeah? grab some water, take a piss, take me with you while you do it. You don't need to hit pause. You can take me with you. Our main story is about AI, and more specifically, the new text-to-video AI model that just came out. It's insane. OpenAI just released Sora, which is a generative AI model, a text-to-video AI model that is not out yet to the public, but is being tested by, a close group of people and is set to release. And guys, it's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Again, you got to be watching the Good Luck Show. I'm gonna put some clips here you're going to be able to see, but it's indistinguishable from reality. If you want, you can go to the website. Let me find, what's the name of the website? It is openai.com/Sora. That's SORA. If you want, you can go look at some of these videos yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. There's a news segment on CNBC I'm going to play. Let's play this first, and then we're going to talk about what it means. Here's the clip.
All right, a bonus tomorrow's news tonight for you. OpenAI has just completed a deal valuing the company at $80 billion, according to the New York Times. That means, my friends, that OpenAI's valuation has tripled in less than 10 months. Tripled in 10 months. The news comes as OpenAI's newest tool, Sora, making huge waves across tech and media. But as OpenAI prepares to release this game-changing tool, where exactly does Hollywood fit in? Remember, actors and writers spent months on strike fighting for safeguards against AI. What does this mean? By the way, the image on the right, the man with the glasses, that is completely fake. It is completely invented. That image on the right, completely fake. For more, let's bring in director, writer, and producer Justine Bateman, who really led the charge about AI during those summer months and the strike. And we showed a lot of these images, Justine. Welcome back to the show yesterday. And we immediately thought, the heck is this going to mean for Hollywood?
Well, like I started saying about a year ago, there's a series of things that are going to occur. And if people go to credo23.com/AI in film, they can see the list of things. And you can start checking things off. Yeah, that's fake. It's not, it's beyond fake. That is an amalgamation of a bunch of images and footage that they stole from artists. Plain and simple, generative AI is complete and utter theft. And it's being used by people who are trying to increase their profit margins and get rid of the overhead of using humans.
So you're suggesting, and guys, can we run that? I don't know if we could run the video. We showed some fake pirate ships, some AI-generated pirate ships meant to kind of look like there we go, that's it. So what you're suggesting, Justine, I think, is that these images of the pirate ships or a guy reading a book or a monkey are actually just aggregated from real things that AI has scraped, and thus in that way they are, in a sense, stealing.
I'm not implying it. It's fact. Generative AI doesn't function without consuming a bunch of material, a bunch of data. So you want to write a book, it's got to consume a bunch of books. And it's like putting it into a blender and it chops it up and gives you a Frankenstein spoonful based on your prompt. So all the films that have ever been done, all the books that have ever been written, all the music that's ever been made, that's all put in there. Every video you guys ever posted online of your family, all the pictures, all the legal work that anybody's done in a law office, it's all put into these blenders and spits this out. So this is complete theft, and it's being perpetrated by people who want to just make a lot of money and not have to pay any, labor overhead.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Now, she's not 100% wrong, but she's not 100% right either. That was a very generalized, dramatized take on the situation at large, especially as it pertains to Sora and OpenAI. So let's talk about generative AI. I think a lot of people don't fully know how generative AI works, and obviously it's very fucking complicated. And if you aren't like really in this shit, it's hard to know, right? So I dropped a generative music project end of last year. And I'm obviously very well researched on this and like spent a good portion of my life the past 2 years doing this. So let's talk about it. So not all generative AI platforms are created equal, and they're not all the same, and they're all very different and nuanced on how they train data. But the way OpenAI works and how most of them work, because they kind of legally have to work this way, they run on neural models. So they train on existing data, and then they produce novel outputs. So basically, like, they train on data, but the outputs can never be copyrighted material or take from copyrighted material. So how that works, let's talk about it, like the process. It's going to get a little nerdy, but stay with me because this is really important. Whether or not you're interested in AI, it's about to consume your life and how you consume and create media, right? So neural models start by ingesting a large data set, which could include text, images, audio, video, other types of data, depending on the model's intended output. The model then analyzes the data to identify patterns and features and structures and contrast and all the different like things in media, whatever the output is, whether it's music or it's video or it's photo or whatever the fuck. This process involves breaking down the input into smaller, manageable pieces that it can learn from through a process called propagation. The model adjusts its internal parameters each time it processes a piece of information. And then like that process helps the model learn the underlying patterns and relationships within the data set. Does that make sense? I hope that didn't sound so fucking nerdy. But basically, when it's learning from infinite data, you know, all the shit that it's fed, it's finding patterns and things that it's learning from, and it breaks it down into smaller things. So think like, you know, if it's learning about dogs, when it receives a bunch of photos of dogs, it will break it down into specific things, how the tongue moves, how its head moves when it's running, how its bones, it will analyze all this data so that when it creates output, it makes sure through optimization algorithms like gradient descent and a bunch of different stuff, it minimizes errors in predictions or outputs and gradually improves its accuracy over time. So as it's creating and learning from these little tiny things and creating outputs, it's getting better and better and better at creating these outputs, whether it's video or a music or whatever. And what's really important is that these outputs cannot legally be copyrighted material. So that's also a part of the AI model, is learning on material, which this is where it's a little gray. It's like, is it learning on copyrighted material? In some cases, yes. But then when the outputs come out, it cannot have any of that in that, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I hope that kind of makes sense in terms of like the outputs and like how it learns and then how it puts stuff out. Yeah. The process highlights the blend of like complexity and creative, like the way neural models process and generate data underscores like how sick this can be and will be. And I think what people are concerned on is that it's learning from artists and copyrighted material and like stealing that knowledge and the nuance of those things to create outputs. So even if it's not copyrighted material that it's outputting, you know, that's where people are like concerned. You know what I mean? I think that it's important when you look at something like this to think, I get hyper like sensationalism and like being super dramatic and like they're stealing from artists and they're going to destroy artists and blah, 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 blah. But I just think that's a lazy take. I think that's a dinosaur-like take. And I think it's inaccurate. I get the concerns, but like you got to draw similarities between what an AI model is doing and what songwriters and producers do, what screenwriters do, what photographers do, what digital artists do. You think about like influence-based creation. So just as me as a songwriter and producer creates music that's influenced by my experiences, by things I've listened, listening habits and the music that I've been trained on. I've been trained on copyrighted music from artists my whole life. I grew up listening to rock. I was trained on that. Then I was listening to a lot of pop and rap, and I was trained on that. And I was like boom bap, hip hop. And then I was trained on like Atlanta, like Gucci and Jeezy. And I was trained on that. And then I was trained on all these different influences. Even like the music that I create is original, but I've just been trained on a data set of music that I've consumed. And you have to think about AI like that. Similar to me being trained on things. And, if you're a photographer and you've seen certain works and that's influenced you, or if you make movies or you are a painter or whatever, you've been trained on different artists and their styles, and you've incorporated that into your work. And whether you know it or not, when I make a pop record, I'm thinking subconsciously, Max Martin, Pharrell. Like, what are these guys doing that I can implement? And sometimes it's not as subtle. Sometimes you're literally sampling or interpolating it. But most times when you're creating original works, you're pulling from all these places. And guys, that's the same thing. AI is doing the same thing. OpenAI, this new video model, Sora, it's doing the same thing. It just has access to way more inputs. It's trained on infinitely more data sets than I am. And what's great is, as an artist, that's an awesome tool for me. I haven't been trained on all the things that this have been trained on, but I can lean on this to use those inputs to create a new output with my own flavor. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what's so incredible about AI. And like, I get that artists are scared, especially when you see something like this. And it's like, oh my God, this looks real. Or you hear some of the AI music stuff that I've been playing on here that I might play later. And you're like, wow, this sounds like it's not perfect, but it's early and it's gonna be. And I get the fear. But I've talked about it before. It's gonna, for mediocre people, get in a different line of work. You better get great, and AI might make you great. Certain people weren't great producers until they learned how to sample. If you look at like Napster, I think Napster is a great example. A lot of the legal stuff that a lot of these AI companies, like Midjourney right now, is like going through some shit. Because Midjourney had some issues where they weren't as tight in their like training and in their security and in their safeguards on copyrighted material. And some of their outputs were coming out with copyrighted material. And, if you look at Napster, like when Napster first came out, it completely rocked the industry and it disrupted the industry. And that disruption is good. And we need that disruption, especially right now where it's not great to be a creative right now, which we talk about every episode. You need that disruption to rock the fucking boat. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at Napster, Napster got shut down because all these RIAA and Metallica and all these labels came after them and just completely fucking folded them. But if it was not for Napster, we would not have got into the streaming age. And Napster revolutionized music sharing and sparked debates on copyright and compensation. And companies like Midjourney are challenging existing copyright frameworks by training on copyrighted data sets without compensating creators. And so that to say, similar to how Napster gave us Spotify and DSPs, the thought here is companies like Midjourney or OpenAI, these won't be the final versions of this. We're just kicking down walls and disrupting shit. Ideally, in the future, there will be ways for people to be compensated if their work's trained on, you know, through blockchain, being able to be, you know, track all of this stuff on a public ledger, which data sets being trained, which outputs come from which inputs, and how can those people be compensated if it's, do you know what I'm saying? That's where this shit's heading. So, you know, we need to take a balanced approach on this in respect to copyright law while accommodating the transformative potential of AI in entertainment. It would be stupid to try to stifle innovation, which we're seeing. Anytime that's attempted, it's shut down. But we also, obviously, we got to be careful. You know, there needs to be nuance here. But this could lead to a future where artists are not only recognized but rewarded for their contributions to the training and inspiration of generative AI models. So hopefully I didn't bore you to fucking death with that, but it's a really important thing. And, you know, on the Good Luck podcast, we're not just about making you laugh. We want you to think, you know? We keep you on your toes every week. You're laughing 1 minute, the next minute you're looking in the mirror thinking about the fall of humanity and the potential for more, right? Okay, well, let's get into everyone's favorite segment. You know, and we made you wait a little bit. We made you work to get here, but it's time to do the fuck out of here Hall of Fame. It's time to do the FOH HOF. This first video, I mean, what needs no introduction. Let's get into it.
Like, guys would follow me around the club watching me like run game on bitches.
Yeah.
Just, you know, dropping Riz. And because every night I'd go to the club and I would just make out chicks. And back then I was just starting my YouTube career and I wasn't really doing it for content. Like, I was just trying to be a fuckboy. I was just making out bitches. Right? And it was crazy because, like, I would go to the club and make out like 10 girls a night. And a lot of guys just were blown away. But for me, that was like a very normal experience.
Yeah.
You know? So guys would literally follow me around the club watching me do that. And this dude came up to me. He's like, I will pay to teach me how to do that.
All right, Aziz Ansari, take it easy. Yeah. Fucking relax. Grown-ass man bragging about making out with girls like he's an 8th grader. You know? You know, just making out with bitches, just walking around the club, like, you know, making out with girls, you know? And guys are like blown away by this. Wow, dude, making out with chicks, dude? Fuck yeah, dude, making out with chicks? Bro is rated PG-13, you know? Bro is rated E for everyone. Not even PG-13, rated PG. Coming up next on Disney Channel. You know? Bro is tongue wrestling with Midwest's fives and bragging about it. You know? Perusing around the designated ugly fat friends, the Duffs. And is bragging about it on a podcast. Dude, if you're making out with 10 random slags a night, you obviously have herpes. Probably, right? Making out with like 10 chicks a night. Like, and like, you know, I'm like, and it's like normal for me. Like, I'm just going around. Yeah? You're making out with just 10 random girls a night? You've got herpes, dude. Sorry, you got the herpes. You tried so hard not to be a simp that you got Simplex too. This fucking guy, man. I mean, what a dork.
Like, guys would follow me around the club watching me like run game on bitches.
Yeah.
Just, you know, dropping Riz. And every night I'd go to the club and I would just make out chicks. And back then I was just starting my YouTube career and I wasn't really doing it for content. Like, I was just trying to be a fuckboy. I was just making out bitches.
Trying to be a fuckboy. Hey, mission accomplished. You did it. Great work. You sure didn't have to try too hard, did you? The spit swapping Sultan. The tongue twizzling Rizzler, you know? just dropping Riz, dude. Making out with bitches, dude. The king of first base. This guy, dude, nobody gets to first base like this guy. He's the Ichiro Suzuki of the club. Bro's batting 400 on relief pitchers, you know? Just like, imagine getting on a podcast in the Louis Vuitton shirt and the sparkly Louboutins, like, yeah, I'm just making out with bitches, dude. I think I'm Big Smooch. Larry Smoocher. Massive dork. Fucking loser. Huh? I mean, and then like the end where he's like, yeah. And this guy like followed me around, was like asking me like, can you teach me how to make out with bitches? What is this? What does he say? Hold on,
Normal experience.
Yeah.
You know? So guys would literally follow me around the club, watch me do that. And this dude came up to me, he's like, I will pay to teach me how to do that.
Yeah, dude. Sure that happened. Yeah, I'm sure he just had a fucking group of guys following him around the club, watching him make out with girls like a bunch of ducklings following a mother duck around the club, just making out with fucking absolute bottom feeders, you know? Making out with catfish, dude. And then they asked him like, dude, can you teach me how to do that? It's like the movie Hitch, but instead of learning how to fall in love, he taught you how to drop Riz on whores and get STDs. Fucking Vivek Riz Swami over here, you know? Who is this guy? And why is somebody interviewing him? Whenever I see these podcast clips, I'm like, who told this guy he should have a platform? And what fucking podcast host had him on their show? The interviewee should be banned from media for giving this guy a platform. This is the corniest man alive. You understand that, right? This is the biggest dork in Dorksville. I mean, Jesus. What a fucking loser. Moving on. You know what I was doing last night? I went for a late night walk and I looked in the sky and I saw the Super Bully symbol in the sky. My bat symbol was shined into the sky. And I said, oh, they need me. The commissioner needs me. The commissioner of Gotham needs Super Bully. So I found the nearest phone booth. I put on my fucking Super Bully uniform. And yeah, that's a Batman, Superman crossover. That's fine. Put on my fucking Super Bully uniform and I got right to my Instagram app. And what did I find? My dear friend Kris Krohn. Back with another absolute gem. This might be the best Kris Krohn clip we've ever got. It's a special one. So I got about 200 DMs with this video. So naturally, we're going to watch it here live on the show for the first time. I've watched it. I watched it earlier today. This is the second time watching it. And here we go.
I've already been a billionaire 1,000 times over. I'm a trillionaire in my mind palace because all faith expresses first in a belief in something that hasn't happened yet. So for me, there is a place where I can create evidence here so that literally when I go into the real world, I've now created energy that I can harmonize with and I can find all the resonated frequencies, gather them in and learn to identify, hey, that which I practiced here, I'm now seeing out here. For example, this year, I want to donate $10 million to my foundation. So I'm sitting in a crowded room. There's a philanthropist over here that's looking for the worthy cause. And my frequency lights up and says, go over there. And now we're having this conversation. And at the end of it, they're like, let's schedule a meeting. We'd like to be more a part of what you're doing. That contributed maybe to the $10 million. This is why in my mind palace, I'm practicing everything I want. I use spirituality to build my dream life. I am envisioning everything that I want to produce as if it's already here. For example,
in my mind palace. This is it. I mean, we've peaked, right? This is it. We'll never find a more entrepreneur bro than this guy. It's a dogfight between him and Luke Belmar and Andy Elliott, really. But this video, man, Luke, Andy, you guys better fucking step it up, dude. Because this is, I mean, listen to this.
I've already been a billionaire 1,000 times over. I'm a trillionaire in my mind palace.
That's it? A trillionaire? I'm a quintillionaire 1,000 times over in my mind palace. I'm a sextillionaire. You only have one mind palace? I have 10 mind palaces. If you can have 10 mind palaces before you're 30, if you can get 10 mind palaces, you can have generational wealth. You can start flipping mind palaces into mind castles. Oh, hold on. I thought I was a sextillionaire. Let me just take a quick trip to my mind palace real quick. Hold on. Cynthia? I need you to clean these floors in my chambers, please. And yet with a toothbrush, Cynthia. You know I walk around. Yeah. Well, it's not spotless. And I need it spotless in my mind palace. Okay, hold on. Okay, guys, I'm back from my mind palace, and I'm pleased to report that I'm now an octillionaire. I just 1000x'd. I just printed 1,000 more sextillions. I'm now an octillionaire. I now have the GDP of America, China, Russia, and Switzerland combined in my mind palace. I'm the ruler of the free world in my mind palace. Oh God. What have I done? I've done some horrible things in my mind palace. I've seen some horrible things. This money, this weight, it had a price, didn't it? This palace is a prison. Kris, man.
Because all faith expresses first in a belief in something that hasn't happened yet. So for me, there is a place where I can create evidence here. So that
create evidence, you know? Where's the evidence? I don't think this evidence would hold up in a court of law, Kris, or in a bank. You know? I mean, this evidence is as real as the prop money on the table there. I can't wait to tell the IRS that I donated $10 million to my foundation to use as a tax write-off from my mind palace. Hey, Kris, next time you're in your mind palace, can you please manifest a sense of style? Because what the fuck are you wearing, dude? What is this? I mean, I've seen like 6 videos of you bragging about getting a new stylist and dressing, you know. What? Brother. Oh, man. Look, Kris, it's time to commit to the bit and just launch a cult, dude. You want to be a cult leader so bad, dude. You just need to commit. Just go for it, dude. Start a cult in Utah. Get your 1,000 of your dumbest followers to come and just drink the Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? You don't got to drink it. But just wipe 1,000 fucking of your dumb ass followers off the face of the earth in one fell swoop. Because paying for your course is not enough. I need them out of here. All right. Thanks, Kris. We got to protect, guys. I'm telling you, it's the goal of the show is to get Kris on the podcast. That's the goal for 2024. We got to get Kris on the show. All right. This last video is, as you know, as a guy who makes music, really enjoyed this one. Here it is.
As a 9-figure entrepreneur, why don't you listen to music?
It started early in my sales career. I was barely turned 22. First sales seminar I went to was Brian Tracy. And Brian said something that kind of stuck in my head. He said, use your vehicle as a university on wheels to learn. And from that day forward, I literally like turned off the radio. And I started listening to sales, persuasion, influence, like everywhere I went. And so people who listen to music, that's great. But in reality, how much money does that make you every month? Zero. You don't learn anything from that. So I'm always learning to something persuasion, sales, influence, business that elevates my game as a business owner, as a sales trainer to help other people, because that makes me more money.
What a dork! What an absolute nerd. I mean, dude, you know this guy's entire closet is just full of those black polos, right? And that feather belt from Kohl's that he's had since he was in high school, for sure. What type of fucking psychopath doesn't listen to music, dude? The guy's a sociopath. The guy's probably a serial killer. Who doesn't listen to music? Who brags about not listening to music? Do not pass bro the aux. Don't pass him the aux if you're in the whip, dude. Because you know he's going to turn on a fucking Andy Elliott audiobook or a Dave Ramsey audiobook to just jam out to. You know, just lower the window. You know, he's just cruising in his convertible, lowers the window, hits play on the radio, and it's just...
I've already been a billionaire 1,000 times over. I'm a trillionaire in my mind palace because all faith expresses first.
Fuck yeah, dude. You know? Just listening to Entrepreneur Bro podcasts in his car. I mean, what an absolute dweeb. Instead of turning on music when he has sex, he just fires up a sales course, you know? Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay? How about some Grant Cardone and creatine? You know? And you know that he strictly has sex in Missionary. You know that, right? You know that he strictly has sex in Missionary. And every once in a while, he'll switch to Doggy, but just to look at himself in the mirror while he's doing it. You know what I mean? He's not looking at her. He's just like fucking flexing in the mirror, dude. Listening to Grant Cardone while he's just fucking going to Pound Town. 2 minutes max. Then it's back to working the phones. Has never made a girl come one time. Does not know what a G-spot is. But he does know what a G-suite is. How much money does that make you a month? I mean, in his defense, it doesn't make anybody money except for labels listening to music. I make about 1/3 of a cent a stream. Thanks, Spotify. But not everything you do in life needs to make you money. Here's a novel concept. You can listen to music because you want to listen to music. Or you can listen to music in the background while you work. Huh? There's a crazy fucking idea. Some people say listening to music helps get the creativity flowing. You know, people that aren't psychopaths like you. I mean, these people have mental illness. They need therapy. What if you could listen to music and it could help make you money? Well, don't worry. I cooked up a solution for you. I've made a lot of hit songs in my day. I've sold over 7 million records. But none will make me more money or make you more money than these songs I'm about to play now. I've cooked up some more hit records with Suno AI. They're my lyrics. I put them in. But these are some fun songs that you could try at home to help teach you how to make more money. Enjoy.
Get money is a habit, running laps, Kris Krohn my palace. I make 10 mil a month, no capping. I'm like Luke Belmar with the yapping. All I do is yap, yeah, 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 yeah. I just yap, yeah, 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 yeah. Yapping ain't dead, bitch, you just scared. 10 rental homes, but the hoes don't care. Yapping ain't dead, bitch, you just scared. 10 rental homes, but the hoes don't care. But I got 10 rental homes before 30. 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 Don't got nice clothes, but I do close deals. I don't get hoes, I don't know how sex feels. All I do is yap, drop ship, and sell wheels. Not a single thing that I ever say is real. All I do is yap, 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 yap. All I do is yap, 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 yap.
I mean, is that the hottest record you've ever heard in your life? Don't worry, I got more. Here's another one.
Getting money is a habit. Running laps in Kris Krohn's my palace. I make 10 mil a month, no capping. I'm like Luke Belmar with the yapping. All I do is yap, 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 yap. All I do is yap, 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 yap. Yapping ain't dead, bitches just scared. 10 rental homes, but the hoes don't care. But I got 10 rental homes for 30. 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 Don't got nice clothes.
I mean, you like rap music?
I swear getting money is a habit. Running laps in Kris Krohn's my palace. Woo. I make 10 mil a month, no capping.
No cap.
I'm like Luke Belmar with the yapping. All I do is yap, 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 yap. All I do is yap, 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 yap. Yapping ain't dead, bitches just scared. 10 rental homes, but the hoes don't care. But I got 10 rental homes before I'm 30. 10 rental homes before I'm 30. 10 rental homes before I'm 30. 10 rental homes before I'm 30.
I mean, come on, man.
Don't got nice clothes, but I do close deals. I don't get hoes, I don't know how sex feels. All I do is yap, drop, ship, and sell wheels. Not a single thing that I ever say is real. All I do is yap, 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 yap. All I do is yap, 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 yap.
Kind of sounds like Birdman.
Yapping ain't dead, bitches just scared. 10 rental homes, but the hoes don't care. Got 10 rental homes before I'm 30. 10 rental homes before I'm 30.
You know? I mean, I might have to drop these joints, man. I might have to put them out. I spent 2 hours making these. I made like 50 of these songs. We're not going to play all 50. But man...
Don't got nice clothes, but I do close deals. I don't get hoes, I don't know how sex feels. All I do is yap, drop, ship, and sell wheels. Not a single thing that I ever say is real. But I got 10 rental homes before I'm 30. 10 rental homes before I'm 30. 10 rental homes before I'm 30. 10 rental homes before I'm 30.
Watch out, Post. Anyway, yeah, maybe we'll put one of these out. I don't know. I mean, the streets are going to be begging for it, right? So many fucking bops, so many hits. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you for listening to Good Luck this week. It's going to conclude our show. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel or to the show. Leave a 5-star review. Leave a comment. Send it around. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed and leave another comment right now. Guys, if you're listening right now, make sure you leave another comment. And tell me what you enjoy. Maybe tell me what song you enjoyed the most. Put the number, the number that I played. Yeah, and that's going to do it, guys. But you know how we're going to end it, right? You know what we're going to do to end it. We're going to go ahead and finish it off with the Good Luck theme song. And so, as the world continues to crumble into oblivion and morons lead us into just a black hole of nothingness, make sure you put on your POTUS 45s and just run directly into the sun. But do it listening to music, and do it specifically listening to the Good Luck theme song. And until next week, good night and good luck.
Everybody listen close. There's a brand new show that you gotta know. It's called Good Luck with Gino.
That's me.
It's gonna get you moving, get you in the zone. Good luck, good vibes, good times with Gino by your side.
bitch.